Hello, in this tutorial we are going to create a cross-platform SFML project that will work on Windows and on Mac. On the Windows side it'll be Visual Studio, on the Mac side it will be Xcode. As you can already tell, I'm sure we are on Mac and we will be creating and setting up the Mac side first. So what you want to do is create a folder to contain your entire project. This will contain the Mac and the Windows side. So I'm just going to create a folder on the desktop. This can be moved because it will contain its own versions of the library file. So I'm going to say new folder, and I'm just going to call this cross for cross platform. Open this up. Inside here we need to set up our project directory. So we need to create a folder called code. All of the code files will reside in here. Pretty simple stuff. Next, create a folder called external libraries. In here, create two folders, one called Mac and another called, let me zoom in a bit, called Windows. So these folders will contain any external libraries. In this tutorial it will be SFML. Obviously if you implemented something like GFW or SDL, or as an extra thing something like Box2D, they would also reside in these as well. Now in the root directory, create a folder called platforms, and just create a folder called resources, like so, and this will contain all of the resources for our project. So in here, in the platforms folder, there will be two folders. There will be a Mac folder and a Windows folder. So let's create that right now. And Windows. So that is the actual project directory setup in terms of just folder creation. What we need to do now is download SFML. So if we go to the sfml-dev.org website, there'll be a link to this in the description. Go to download, go to the latest stable version. First of all, just download the Mac OS X version. Also, even though we're on Mac, we're going to download the Windows version as well. Simply put, it doesn't matter what OS we're on, to just download the files and put them where they need to go. You can do that on any OS. So I'm going to choose the 32-bit version to ensure maximum compatibility. If you want 64-bit, feel free. These steps are essentially the same. So just download that, and this will be completed very shortly. Now that that is done, let's unzip the Mac library. So copy this folder, which contains all of these SFML folders. Copy that, and you want to place that inside of external libraries Mac, and just rename this to SFML. So it's just simple and easy to link. And now you want to extract the Windows folder as well, and you want to do the same. Copy this, paste it into the Windows folder, and again just rename it. So we have SFML downloaded and put into the right location in our cross-platform project. Now we can actually create a Xcode project. So just open up Xcode and create a new Xcode project. Just want to do a regular Mac OS. Just do a command line tool. So this is essentially us setting up SFML for the Mac side. If you're familiar with this, you'll probably just go through this really fast. If not, feel free to just sit back and just enjoy these steps that I showcase to you. So command line, next, name it whatever you want. It doesn't actually matter. I'm just going to call it SFML project. You could call it Mac, you could call it other one Windows. It doesn't matter. And just select C++ for the language. You can leave all this as the default, so just have something for the organization identifier, so sonar.systems. Next, and I'm going to save this on the desktop, I'm actually going to just close this project down and copy. I'm actually going to move all of this content into the platform's Mac folder. So let's move all of that into there. And now that we've moved that, what we want to do is go to the SFML project. As you can see, by default, there is a main.cpp created. We want to move that into code. And now this will just remain empty. Open up the SFML project. There is no main.cpp. That is fine. Just remove that. We'll be rectifying that problem now. Yeah. So what we're going to do is just, actually we can just drag it on. So if we go back, if we drag on code into the SFML project, what you want to do is create groups, add to targets, click finish, and you get this sort of orangey icon like so. And for resources, do something very similar, add it, but you want to do create folder references, add to targets, create folder references will essentially have a blue icon. That's not the only difference. What it will mean is any changes done to the resources folder, so if we add new assets, take away assets, rename assets, they'll automatically get uploaded. Unfortunately, you can't do that for the code folder. It will have to be a group, so every time you add new files, you just have to drag and drop them, essentially select the same properties that we did and just add them like that. So now if we were to run this, we will have a running application in terms of just a C++ application. So that's good. It's always good to confirm stuff like that. Now let's actually start setting up SFML in Xcode. So go to your project, go to build settings, and what you want to do, let me just zoom in a bit. Yeah, that should be big enough. You want to search for search. That's what you want to search for. And if we are looking for the header search path. So if we double click that, you just click plus, and in here you want to type in quotation marks, not quotation marks. Yeah, that will be quotation marks. Yeah. And you want to do $, and you want to do parentheses, and you want to do src root. Again, all of this is covered in the general setting up videos for SFML Mac and on Windows, all of these different things that we're doing, but this essentially will allow us to create a relatively linked project, which will mean we can move it anywhere around on our computer or to another computer for that matter. So you just want to do // and then external libraries /mac /SFML. So this is the folder that we downloaded and renamed to SFML, if you remember from a few minutes ago, and include, which was the folder inside of there. So there needs to be a quotation mark at the end, and as you can see, it's got the path itself, and this will just update accordingly depending on where the folder is and on what computer it is. So what this has done, that $source root, by default it's located here. By doing the // go back here, // we go back here, and then we go into the external libraries, Mac, SFML, and then include. So what we want to do is actually something very similar for the library files as well. So we can actually just copy this. You want to go to library search paths, click plus, paste it in. The only thing you want to change is lib. Because if we go to our SFML, external libraries, Mac, SFML, so we're referring to the include, which has the SFML code that we'll be accessing very soon, and the lib, which has all the libraries, which we will be linking very shortly. So now what you want to do is go to As you can see, this is updated as well. I'm going to go to build phases. First thing you want to do is add new copy files phase. And in here, the destination is resources. Click plus, and you just want to select the resources folder that we added. What this will ensure is every time you build the project, so this for example, if we were to build this, build successful, if we go show in Finder, it's copied over the resources. That means they'll be able to use the resources. There's nothing in there, if there is anything in there, you'll copy that over as well. So we've got the resources all set up. Now the only thing we need to do before we can start coding in SFML on the Mac side is link binary with libraries. So link binary with libraries, click plus, click add other, and we just need to essentially go to external libraries, Mac, SFML, lib, and you just want to select the non-aliases. So the ones with this little icon are just shortcuts. I'm going to select the one without them. So this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Click open. They've been added to the project. Just confirm it's still working. It's always a good idea to confirm it's still working. Now we can actually add some SFML code. So what you want to do is go to the main.cpp. I could write the SFML code to get a basic SFML window working, but there's no point because I've covered that in several tutorials before. Again, this is not a tutorial on SFML coding, but setting up a cross-platform project for Xcode on Mac and Visual Studio on Windows. So I already have a very, very basic application. We copy that, paste that into here. As you can see, it's picked everything up. So if we were to do hash include SFML, it picks all of that up because we have linked it. So if we run it, we get our SFML window. So that is it for the Mac side of things. I will see you in a second on Windows, which will be setting up the Visual Studio side. So I'll see you there. Welcome back, fancy people. We are now going to finish off this cross-platform SFML project with the Windows side. So what we want to do is first create a Visual Studio project. So just open up Visual Studio. I'm using 2015 and what you want to do is a file, new project. Pretty simple stuff. You want to get window for WinFade2, WinFade2 console application. Just name it whatever you want. So I'm just going to call it SFML project. Put it on my desktop. That's good stuff. And next, empty project. Finish application. Okay, again, we are going to close that and open this up. Open up your cross-platform project directory. Go to platforms, Windows. In here, move all of this inside of here. In here, there's no main.cpp created by default because we chose empty, so we don't have to deal with deleting and moving any main files for the Visual Studio side. So now we can actually get rid of this folder because it's just empty. Open up your Visual Studio project. What we actually want to do is in here, we want to create two folders. So one for debug, one for release. In here, there'll be folders created for debug and release. We're not interested in them. In these will be the exe. So what we want to do is go to here. Every time the resources folder is updated, what you'll have to do is manually copy it over, unlike Xcode. So you want to just copy that. So just imagine that I've added a new file to the resources folder. Go to Windows, just paste it into here, paste it into here. That's all. That's all you got to do. So if, let's say, you were to clean your Visual Studio project, then you would obviously need to just replace the folder in here. And what you want to do, go to External Libraries, Windows, SFML. You want to go to bin, and you need to copy all of these files. These need to go into the debug folder. And for the debug folder, you need the openal32.dll, and you need every other SFML that has -d, because that's debug. So we can get rid of all of the others. Now, just paste it into here as well. Again, we need the openal32.dll, but we don't need the debug because this is the release folder. So get rid of that. So now that we've copied over the DLL files, I've also mentioned that you have to copy over the resources folder yourself. Seems a bit tedious copying over the resources folder, but trust me, when you're in the flow of coding, you're doing all this great stuff, having to do this copy and paste won't actually make any difference whatsoever. So now we can open up our SFML project. I don't know why I closed it down. I said open it up. It was already open. So what we want to do now is actually link up our SFML project. So you want to go to here, right click, properties, and select all configurations for the platform. Select Win32. Remember, that is the library, the build version that we downloaded of the SFML website for Windows. If you download the 64-bit, you just change this to 64. That's literally the only change. Now you want to go to, forgot one thing. We need to add the main.cpp file, because without that, certain properties will not be accessible in the project settings. So let's go to code main. So that's right there. This at the moment will not work. It will moan about a whole heap of errors, and this is just simply because we have not linked SFML. Go back to your project properties, go to C++, general, in additional include directories, click edit, and just click new. In here, what you want to do is type in $, open bracket, solution dir. Again, this is very similar to what we did in Xcode. So this refers to where our Visual Studio project file is, the one that we open up, the one that we open to open up Visual Studio. So we need to go back, and then now we're in the platforms folder. Go back. Now we're in the root folder. Now type in external libraries, because we want to go into the SFML library, and type in Windows, because that's the platform we are on, /SFML, /include, and just copy this, click OK, go to linker, general, additional library directories, drop down, edit, and paste that into here. For this, the only change that we actually have to make is change include to lib, OK, and in input, go to additional dependencies, edit, and we need to add the dependencies, aka the library files for SFML. So type in sfml-main-d.lib, and if you copy and paste this, this will save some time. There are 6 instances of different libs, so 4, 5, 6, and what you want to do is change this to graphics, update this to window, and you want to update this to system, this one to audio, and this one to network. Click OK, and now we have added the dependencies. The -d refers to debug, so this won't work for release. The reason we added it for both is because if you go to release now, or just save it, and if we go to release, instead of having to type all that out again, you just get rid of the -d like so, and that is it. As you can see, if we were to go back to debug, it's got the -d. If you go to all configurations, it says different options. For anything referring to additional library directories and the additional include directories, make sure you have all configurations selected. Click OK, and now we should be ready to run. So let's run this, see what we get. Okay, we are getting some errors, so let's have a look at what errors we are getting. It's saying cannot open source file SFML graphics. So if we were to just put #include, so SFML is not there for some reason. Let's go back to our properties. So this is what should help us refer to our SFML project, SFML code. So if we go to the actual folder, go to external libraries, Windows. So how we've gone into external libraries, we've gone into Windows, we've gone into SFML, gone into include, and we should just be able to type in SFML blah 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 and then just access it. So if we go to platform, so we are, why is it saying X? It's saying X64 because I have not changed this here. It should be X86. As you can see, the IntelliSense has now kicked in, and we now have a working SFML project on Windows as well. So that is it. We have now created a cross-platform project for SFML on Windows and Mac. The process is very similar for stuff like GRFW and SDL, as long as you know how to already set it up. If there's enough demand for creating videos for those other frameworks, then I will. Feel free to let me know. Feel free to let me know what other videos you want to see. There will be a link in the description to the GitHub page, which will contain this project template as well, so feel free to check that out. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. And as usual, thank you for watching and happy game developing.